Hello, my name is Mrs. Epps, and today's video lesson is going to be on Chapter 1, Choosing Activities. Choosing Activities. This is today's story. And before we begin our lesson, we're going to go over, as always, our lesson objective and our lesson materials. So let's get started, okay? All right, so if you see here at the bottom of our page, we have our lesson objective, okay? I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to do at the amusement park. I'll remember what the Kinder family chooses to do at the amusement park. Okay, what are you going to need? Paper, pencil, and a copy of today's story, okay? And I'm going to include a copy of today's story. It's going to be a link. Right underneath the video is going to be a link for a copy of today's story, okay? All right, let's get started. So if you look here, we have the cover of our book, and we see some pictures on our book cover, right? Before we even get that far, let's go over our topic words, okay? So these are some of the words that you're going to see in this particular story. So what I want you to do is I'm going to say the words, and then I want you to say the words after me, okay? All right. Fun. Choose. Fast. Down. Slow. Around. Move. Turn. Up. Okay. Now, I hope that you are keeping a log of all the words you have learned so far. Okay. And if you have not kept a log, let's start today. Let's get a piece of paper or get a notebook and write down those topic words. And I'm talking about these words right here. And define those words using your story for today. And you can do this as a homework assignment when we're finished, okay? Use your story to define the words, and then get a dictionary, either in your home or online, and compare your definitions to the definitions you find in the dictionary, and see if they're both correct. If not, you make the correction. So that's an extra activity you can do when our lesson is over for today, okay? All right, so be on the lookout for these words as we read today. Okay, let's get started, okay, with our story for today. What is the name of our story? Watch my arrow. So I'm either going to be using this arrow or this pen over here, okay? So choosing activities is our story for today. Let's get going. All right, the Kinder family is going to King's Garden Amusement Park. They get to the park and they buy their tickets. Everyone is excited, okay? They see roller coasters and other rides. They see games, shops, and restaurants. So now we need to see what our focus question says here at the bottom. Okay? Let's see what it says. It says here, what does the Kinder family see at the amusement park? What did they see? I know you said they see the roller coasters, they see the rides, they see games, shops, restaurants, right? All these are things that we see on a roller coaster. Now, don't forget now, if you recall, our objective is we have to remember what the Kinder family is going to see at that amusement park, okay? Let's pull that objective up again, what they're going to choose. We have to remember what they're going to choose at the amusement park. So we're looking for their choices, okay? What did the Kinder family choose to do? All right. There are a lot of fun things to do at the amusement park, says Mr. Kinder. The amusement park is very large. We spend all day here, but we don't have enough time to do everything. We must make choices about what we want to do. So here is that key word, choices. We have to make choices about what they want to do. All right, let's make it a little bit bigger so we can see what that focus question says here at the bottom. Why does the Kinder family have to make choices about what they would do at the park? Think about that for a second. Why would they need to do that? I know you said the amusement park is very large, but we won't have enough time to do everything, okay? So the park is too big for us to do everything, and hopefully at some point we will be able to go to our local amusement park again once things are safer for us to attend, okay? All right, so we know that by the park being so large, they wouldn't have enough time. All right. So let's go to our next page. All right. Let's go back. I think I have a question for you on this page. I do have a question for you. So now you know that there are different rides. See, there are different rides and games you can do, okay, at the amusement park, all right? So the Kinder family might choose you have different games you can choose and rides you can choose at the amusement park. I need to make sure I reiterate that point because I want you to remember our objective, okay? And that we have to remember what the Kinder family chose to do at the amusement park, all right? All right. So the Kinder family looks at the map at the park. Mr. Kinder says everyone can choose something they really want to do. We will do those things first. What do you choose to do at the amusement park? Asked Mr. Kinder. So let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see this focus question at the bottom here. It says, how will the Kinder family decide what to do at the amusement park? How will they decide? Think about that for a second. Did you say they're going to look at the map and everybody can, here's that key word, choose something they really want to do? They have to look at that map, right? Okay. Gwen looks at the map. I choose to go to the water rides, says Gwen. I love to play in the water. There are water slides. I will go really fast down the slides. Also, you can sit in a tube. Then you slowly float around in the water. That sounds like a great choice, says Mr. Kinder. Okay, so here's our focus question right here. It says, what does Gwen choose to do at the amusement park and why? All right, did you say she chose the water slide? Because it goes what? Really fast. This was her choice, okay? That was Gwen's choice. Let's get this down a little bit. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me move the page down. That was her choice. She chose the water slides, okay? And we have pictures here of the water slides, all right? Ben looks at the map. Look at Ben. Ben looks at the map. I choose to go to the roller coaster, says Ben. Roller coasters move very fast. They make a lot of turns and loops. I can't wait to ride down the big hills. Great. We can ride some roller coasters too, says Mr. Kinder. Okay, let's see what our focus question says here at the bottom. So now what does Ben choose to do at the amusement park? And why? I know you said it. Did you say he chose that roller coaster? And why did he choose it? Because it does what? It moves very fast. Okay? All right, let's go to our next page. Jen looks at the map. I choose to ride the Ferris wheel, says Jen. You ride slowly around a big wheel. You go up really high. I want to ride to the top of the Ferris wheel and look down at the whole amusement park. Good choice, Jen, says Mr. Kinder. Now here's our focus question at the bottom of our page. It says, what does Jen choose to do at the park, at the amusement park, and why? What did you say? She says, she chose what? The Ferris wheel. Why? If we look, it's right here. She says, I want to ride to the top of the Ferris wheel and look down at what? The whole amusement park, because she knew she would see the whole amusement park. Okay? All right. Now, I have an additional question for you, okay, or additional comment. Now, if you remember, Jen says, I want to ride to the top of the Ferris wheel and look down at the whole amusement park, okay? How do you think Jen feels about rides that go high into the air? Think about it for a second. Okay, so I'm going to give you a thought. Now, Jen probably enjoys rides that go high in the air because she says she wants to look down from the top of the Ferris wheel. If she didn't like rides that go high up in the air, then she wouldn't want to look down from the top of the Ferris wheel. So if you look at this Ferris wheel, can you imagine being way up here? Wow, and looking down, being able to see the whole amusement park, that would be an amazing thing to do. And she's very brave because Miss Epps is not. I prefer maybe the merry-go-round. I don't know if we're going to talk about that in this particular story or not, but the merry-go-round is close to the ground. You just kind of go around kind of slow. Okay, all right, but good for Jen. Let's move on. All right, Mr. Kinder looks at the map. I choose to play games, said Mr. Kinder. You throw balls or rings to win some of the games. You get prizes if you want to win the games. I, I want each one of us to win a prize. Yes, says Gwen, Ben, and Jen. Okay. I'm with you, Mr. Kinder. Stay on the ground. All right. So let's look at our focus questions at the bottom here. I'm trying to get it a little bit bigger for you so we can see what it says. What does Mr. Kinder choose to do at the amusement park? And why? Okay, did you say he chose to play games? Why did he choose that? He says you can what? Throw balls. And then he says you can throw balls and rings to win some of the game. And then he also made note of you get prizes, right? All right, if you win a game. So that's what he chose. Boy, they chose a lot of fun things, did they not? All right. Mr. Kinder looks at the map. I choose to go, Mrs. Kinder, I'm sorry, she looks at the map and she says, I choose to go shopping at the gift shop. We can each choose a souvenir to buy. Gift shops sell a lot of items like t-shirts, hats, and mugs. The souvenirs will help us always remember our trip. That is a great idea, says Mr. Kinder. All right now, so now what did Mrs. Kinder choose at the amusement park? This is what our question says here. What did she choose? She chose to do what? Shop. And Mrs. Kinder and I think alike because I love to shop too. She says, I'm going shopping at where? The gift shop. And why would she want to go to the gift shop? She's going to buy what? A souvenir. And what did she say about the souvenirs? She said souvenirs will help us remember our trip. Good job. All right. All right, you're doing a great job listening. Stay with me. Okay. So everyone has chosen something they want to do. First, we'll go to the water rides. Next, we'll ride some roller coasters and the Ferris wheel. Okay. Finally, we will play games and get souvenirs at the gift shop. Now, let's start our day at the water ride, says Mr. Kinder. And our focus question says here, where will the Kinder family go first in the amusement park? Where are they going first? Think about it. They're going where? To the water rides, okay? So they're going to have a busy day, are they not? All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get ready to answer some questions about our story today, okay? All right. So it says here, we're going to do a fill-in activity. And it says here, the Kinder family is at an water slide, top, amusement park, choose, fast. Now I want you to tell me what the answer is. Make a choice. Okay? And whenever you're doing any type of fill in the blank activity or if you're answering a question, you want to look for keywords in the statement or the question. And so it says that the Kinder family is at an this is looking for a location, a place. Where are they, right? So let's use our story to help us find the answer. But before we do that, well, let's finish this first and we'll go back to that because I forgot to do something. Okay, so let's go and look and see where they are. So where are the Kinder family? They're at what? An amusement park. All right. So our next question says the Kinders must blank what to do. The Kinders must blank what to do. Let's look at our choices. Water slide, top, amusement park, choose, fast. Make a choice. Okay, let's use our story to help us figure out the answer. All right. So what do they have to do? They have to make choices, right? It says it right here. They're at the amusement park. It's so large, it's so big, but we have to make a choice, okay? So they have to what? Choose. Okay, Gwen will slide down the water slide, top, amusement park fast. Make a choice. Okay, so once again, we have to use our story to help us come up with the answer. All right, here's Gwen. All right, now what is Gwen going to do? She says, there are the water slides. I really want to go down fast on the what? Slides, okay? So she's going to slide down what? The water slide. All right, number 4 says, roller coasters move very water slide, top, amusement park, choose fast. Make a choice. Okay, let's use our story to help us come up with the answer, right? Let's get our pen. So what's our answer? We have roller coasters move how? Very fast, right? There's our key word right here. All right, number 5 says, Jen wants to ride to the Ferris wheel, water slide, top, amusement park, or choose. Make a choice. Let's use our story to help us come up with the answer. So what does Jen want to do? She wants to ride to the what? Top of the Ferris wheel, right? Did you choose top? I know you did. All right, you did a good job with that filling activity. Let's go to our next activity. Okay, so now we're going to do some multiple choice questions. Okay, so now what is this chapter about? What is this chapter about? A, restaurant, B, library, or C, amusement park? What is this chapter about? Make a choice. A, B, or C. So what are we going to do? We're going to use our story to help us find the answer. And there's our answer. What is it about? The amusement park. This is where they are, okay? Okay, it says, what will Gwen slide down? What will Gwen slide down? A, wall, B, water slide, or C, tube? What will she slide down? Make a choice. So you know we have to go to that part of the story that talks about Gwen, right? What is she going to slide down? The what? Water slide, okay? How do roller coasters move? How do roller coasters move? A, fast, B, slow, or C, steady? Make a choice. How do they move? So we're going to use our story to help us find the answer, right? Now, how does a roller coaster move? Fast. All right. Where does Jim want to ride to on the Ferris wheel? Where does Jim want to ride to on the Ferris wheel? A, side, B, top, or C, bottom? A, B, or C? Make a choice. You can point to the screen when I tell you to make a choice, okay? Or you can write it down on your paper. All right, let's find out. So where does she want to ride to? To the top, right? There it is, right there. So in answering that question, we have to go to the part of the question that talks about who? Jen. So you have to remember that. It helps you to find the answers to your questions quickly. And there it is. Okay. So number 5 says, what is important to know about this chapter? What is important to know about this chapter? A, the Kinders are having a picnic. B, the Kinders go to a movie. Or C, the Kinders must choose what to do. A, B, or C. So now let's do, for this particular question, let's use a strategy called a process of elimination. Okay? So the Kinders are having a picnic. Did our story mention anything about a picnic? No, it did not. So we can just put an imaginary X over that. The Kinders go to a movie. Did our story mention anything about going to a movie? It did not. C says the Kinders must choose what to do. Now, did our story mention anything about making choices? That word choose and choices were all through that story, right? So this must be the correct answer right here. The Kinders must choose what to do. Okay? All right. Very good. All right, you all, let's keep working hard. So let's go to our next question. It says, what does a roller coaster make a lot of? What does a roller coaster make a lot of? A, songs, B, turns, or C, loops. Now, if you notice here, these questions may have more than one correct answer, okay? So let's keep that in mind. What does a roller coaster make a lot of? Now, what part of the story are we going to go to? We're going to go to the part that talks about the roller coaster, right? So let's do that. What does a roller coaster do? Makes a lot of turns and loops, right? So we will have turns here and loops. What does Jen want to ride to see the whole amusement park? What does Jen want to ride to see the whole amusement park? Ferris wheel, B, chair swing ride, or C, merry-go-round. Make a choice. Don't forget, we have to go to the part of the story that talks about who, Jen, and what she wants to do. So let's do that. What does Jen want to ride so she can see the whole amusement park? The what? The Ferris wheel, right? There it is, right there. What do you throw to win some games? What do you throw to win some games? A, birds, B, balls, or C, rings? A, B, or C? Make a choice. So we know we have to go to the part of the story that talks about what? Games. So let's do that. And here we are. Here's the part of the story that talks about games, right? Here are games. And it says you have to do what? Throw balls and rings. So we'll pick B and C. How can each family member win a prize at the amusement park? How can each family member win a prize at the amusement park? And let's use our process of elimination technique for these next two questions. A, lose a game at the amusement park. B, win a game at the amusement park. Or C, buy a prize at the gift shop. And what does it ask us? It asks us, how can each family member win a prize? What do they need to do? All right. Did we talk about losing a game in our story? Nope. So we know we're not going to choose A. How about B, win a game at the amusement park? We talked about winning the game, right? What about C, buy a prize at the gift shop? We didn't talk about that, so it must be B. All right. How can the Kinder family remember their trip to the amusement park? A, they can each buy a souvenir from the gift shop. B, they can buy a snack from the concession stand. Or C, they can buy a bottle of water to drink. And it says, let's look at that question. How can the Kinder family remember their trip? So they can each buy a souvenir. Well, they certainly can buy a souvenir. Our store talked about buying souvenirs, so we're just going to put an imaginary check there. They can buy a snack from the concession stand. The Kinder family did not do any eating in our store, did they not? They did not. And C says they can buy a bottle of water to drink. Did it talk about them buying a bottle of water to drink? No. So we know it must have been A. They can each buy a souvenir, and that does help you to remember your trip. Okay, guys, you did a really great job with your story today, listening and working hard. I'm proud of you. I'm hoping that you can safely take a trip this summer. And if you go to an amusement park, don't forget you're going to have a lot of choices to make, right? Okay. Listen, I want you to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. And I'm going to see you again in the next video lesson. Hello, my name is Mrs. Epps, and I'm coming to you today with another video lesson. And our video lesson is going to be on a book entitled Making Choices at the Gift Shop. Making Choices at the Gift Shop. Okay? And as always, before we begin our lesson, we always have to go over what? The lesson objective and the materials that you're going to need. Okay. And as you can see here, we have a picture of a gift shop. All right. So it says here, this is our lesson objective here, and it says, I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to buy at the gift shop. I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to buy at the gift shop. What are the materials that you're going to need? Paper, pencil, and a copy of today's story. Okay? And a copy of today's story is right under the video lesson. There's a link to the copy of today's story. And if I add any other additional materials, they will be there as well. Okay? So we have to remember what the Kinder family is going to buy at the gift shop. Okay? So I want you to be thinking about that as we go through our lesson today. Before we begin our story, you always know what we're going to do. We're going to go over those topic words first because I want you to be able to focus in on these words as we read the story. So what I want you to do is get your pencil and I want you to underline the words in the story. You can do this after we have finished reading the story. You can also use a highlighter to highlight the words because a good thing to do is to be able to define your words using the story, okay? And then you can go and get a dictionary and compare your definitions to the definitions you find in the dictionary. You can also put these words in alphabetical order. And hey, here's another great thing you can do. You can draw a picture of the words. Let's say if you choose the word scared, okay, and you could possibly draw a picture of something that looks scared, right? That can help you to remember the words. So that's a good thing to do too. These are all additional activities you can do once we finish reading the story, okay? All right, so let's go over the words. I want you to repeat the words after me. And don't forget to be on the lookout for them, okay? Our first word is choose. fun, scared, move, turn, up, down, fast, slow, around, gravity, spin. Okay? Now, also too, you can start like a vocabulary journal with these words. Like you can get a notebook and put all of your words that you have learned from all of the wonderful lessons that have been taught to you and put them all in a book. And you can go back at any time and make sentences with those words. And your parent can help you make sentences, okay? All right, so that's another good activity you can do as well, okay? All right, so what we want to do before we start reading our story, we want to do an activity. And let's just take a look at our book cover here, okay? We know the title of our story is called Making Choices at the Gift Shop, all right? So it says, what is the title of this chapter? So what is the title of this chapter? Did you say Making Choices at the Gift Shop? Because if you did, you were correct, okay? All right. Making Choices at the Gift Shop. All right. What do you think this chapter will be about? Okay. I think, okay, it will be about buying things at a gift shop. Okay, could be. We have to read and find out, right? Okay, so here we are. This is a chapter book. What kind of chapter book is this? Is it a fiction book or a nonfiction book? Now, I want you to think about these two types of books, okay? Now, fiction book is what kind of book? Did you say it's a make-believe book or an imaginary book, a book that's not real? That's correct, if you did, okay? What kind of book is a nonfiction book? Did you say it's a book that's based on actual facts or something that is true that really happened? Okay? If you did, you are correct. Most nonfiction books include charts, they include graphs, they have bold words in books that are nonfiction, and you can open that book anywhere and start reading. With a fiction book, you cannot do that. You have to start at the beginning. So let's take a look at our book, okay? And let's just walk through the pages. Now we see here that we have illustrations. Fiction books have illustrations in them, okay? All right, and we see another illustration. So this must be a what kind of book? A fiction book, okay? All right, what is the chapter topic? Is it biography, social studies, or science? What do you think? Now it's all about buying things, right? Now, do we learn about buying things in science? So we know that it's not science. Is this book about one person? Because a biography is usually about one person. So if we go back over here and we look, we see one person here, but we see another person here. So it's not about just one person. So this must be a book that's centered around social studies, because in social studies we learn about buying things. All right. So it says here, compare this book to a chapter book that has been recently read. So when we compare things, what do? We talk about the similarity and the differences of things when we're comparing them, right? Okay. So I'm going to think about a book that I have recently read to give you an example. And then I want you can take the time on your notebook paper or you're in your notebook or notepad or whatever you have that's handy, and think about a book that you've recently read, okay? And then what you can possibly do is compare it to this book that we're going to read. Although we haven't read it, but we have looked at the book cover, okay? All right, so I read a book about DNA in plants, okay? This book is about buying, and it won't let me type any further, okay? But this book is about buying things in a gift shop. Well, that's the difference. One book is about buying things, but the other book was about DNA and plants. Two different topics. Now, so that's what you're doing when you're comparing, okay? All right. So now let's move on. It says, what kind of book would you choose? A picture book, a chapter book, a comic book, or a book with facts? Well, in this case, I would choose a chapter book because I like chapter books. Okay? Now you pick what you like. All right? So let's move on. Let's get ready to read our story. Now I want you to listen carefully because you will be answering some questions at the end of the story. Okay? And let's begin. All right, so the Kinder family starts walking to the gift shop. Each of us chose something different to do at the amusement park, says Mr. Kinder. People can choose different activities. Some activities may be fun for you. They might make someone else scared. People can like different things. Okay? So let's just take a look at our focus question at the bottom here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. It says, describe why people might choose to do different activities at the amusement park. So we know when we describe something, what do? We tell how it looks, how it feels. We're making a description. And now it says, describe why people choose different things. Okay? So if we can see right here, it says they might make someone else scared. People like different things. So people can choose different activities to do. Some might be fun for you and some might make some other people scared. Okay? So you see that? So that's the answer right there to those questions, okay? To that statement at the bottom there. All right. Move me right here. I went on the water slide, says Gwen. I thought it was fun. Jen liked the Ferris wheel, but I was scared riding the Ferris wheel. I didn't like being so high up in the air. I will go on a water slide again. I will not ride a Ferris wheel again. Okay? Let's see what our focus question says. And it says here, how does Gwen feel on the water slide? How does she feel on the Ferris wheel? So we have to go to the part of the sentence that talks about the water slide and the Ferris wheel. Okay, so here's Gwen, and she says, I thought it was fun. So now Gwen says she went on the water slide. So how does she feel about the water slide? She said, I thought it was fun. How does she feel about the Ferris wheel? Now, here's Gwen right here. She says that Jen liked the Ferris wheel. Now, then Gwen makes a comment. She says, but I was scared riding the Ferris wheel. So now we see that Gwen said she thought it was fun to ride the water slide, but she was what? She was scared to ride the Ferris wheel. Okay? So when you're answering these type of questions, you have to be very careful to make sure that the right character is speaking. Okay? And that you're answering the question correctly. All right. All right, I have another statement to make about this page. That we know that Gwen feels scared, and then people can choose different activities when they go to an amusement park. Not everyone will like the same thing, okay? And that's very true. All right. All right. Now, I rode on the roller coaster, says Ben. It was fun. Gwen liked the water slide, but I was scared when I rode the water slide. I didn't like moving down the water slide so fast. I will ride a roller coaster again. I will not go on a water slide again. Okay? So let's see what our focus question says here at the bottom. Now, how did Ben feel on the roller coaster? How did he feel? And it says, how does he feel on the water slide? So we're looking for, whenever you're answering a question, you're looking for that keyword. You're looking for Ben and how he felt. So here's Ben. Now, what ride did he ride on? He says, I rode on what? The roller coaster. And how did he feel about it? He said it was fun. Now we see here that Gwen liked the water slide. He says, but I was scared when I rode the water slide. Who's talking? Ben. So how does he feel about the roller coaster? He said it was fun. How did he feel about the water slide? He said he was what? He was scared. All right. Now, if we think about our previous page, page 50 here, Ben enjoyed riding a different ride than Gwen, right? Okay. Now, if we move on, we're going to move on to our next page. Okay. So let's go to our next page. We're going to have another comment I want to make about this, but that's true in any case. Whenever you go to a place like this, there are so many rides. There are so many rides. I can remember going to Kings Dominion at one time. It was so many rides there. No, it was Disney World. And it's just so many rides, and everybody's not gonna like the same rides. Okay? All right. So now the Kinder family arrives at the gift shop. They see different kinds of souvenirs to buy. There are colorful t-shirts, keychains, and magnets. Now it's time for everyone to choose a souvenir to buy, says Mrs. Kinder. Souvenirs can help us remember what we did on our trip. So now they're at the gift shop. So now let's think about our objective, right? What was our objective? I will remember what the Kinder family chooses to buy at the gift shop. Okay? All right. So let's make our focus statement here a little bit bigger at the bottom so we can see what it wants us to do. It says, why will the Kinders buy souvenirs at the gift shop? Now, did you say souvenirs can help us remember what we did on our trip? And that's very true. Every time I go on a trip, I always look for a refrigerator magnet because I love refrigerator magnet. It's my way of remembering where I went and what I did. They are so fun, okay? And I'll even ask family members and friends if they're going to a place that I have never gone to, bring me a magnet back because it helps me to learn about a new place and it adds to my collection. I love it. Okay. All right, so let's go on. It says, pick a souvenir to help you remember what you like doing today, says Mrs. Kinder. I choose a t-shirt, says Gwen. I remember how the water rides move. I move fast down the water slide. I move slowly, floating on a tube in the water. Okay? So let's make it a little bit bigger. And it says here, what will Gwen remember about how she moved on the water rides? What will she remember? What did she say? She says, here's the section that talks about the water rides. And she says, I will remember I moved how fast down the water slide. I moved slowly, floating on a tube in the water. Okay? If you said that, you were correct. Okay, I choose a roller coaster keychain, says Ben. It will help me remember how roller coasters move. They move slow up hills. They move fast down hills. Roller coasters turn and go around loops. Gravity helps roller coasters move. Okay, so let's see what our focus statement or question says. It says, what will Ben remember about how roller coasters moved? How did they move? What did he say? He says they move what? Fast down hills. What do? They turn and go around in loops. Okay? If you said something like that, you were correct. We're answering a lot of questions, aren't we? And I know you're doing a great job. Okay. So it says here, I choose a Ferris wheel magnet, says Jen. I want to remember how the Ferris wheel spins around in a circle. You slowly move up until you get to the top. Then you slowly move back down to the ground. Those are great souvenirs, says Mrs. Kinder. She pays for the items. Okay, let's see what our focus question says. What would Jim remember about how the Ferris wheel moved? How did it move? Okay, how did it move? She says, you move slowly up, right? See, she's talking about the Ferris wheel. There it is. She said you move slowly up and then you move slowly back down to the ground. Okay? Okay, we learned a lot today, says Mr. Kinder. People can choose different activities to do. People and things move at the amusement park. Yes, there's a lot of movement, right? They move fast and slow. They move up, down, and spin around. Objects can move back and forth or straight. Now, let's go home. I'm tired. All right. Okay, let's see what that focus question says at the bottom. And it says, what was your favorite activity that the Kinder family did in this book? What was your favorite activity? And then you tell why. Okay, so I'm going to pick one. Oh, let me move back. Let me move back. Okay. And you know, I guess the favorite activity that I like was the fact that, this store was all centered around them making choices at the gift shop. And if you have ever been at a gift shop, it is a wonderful place to go because you can see so many things that you won't see anywhere else. You see a lot of unique things, okay? So I guess my favorite part of the store was the actual part of them going to the souvenir shop. But you may have liked the way they remembered their trip and what they did. That's excellent too if you chose that as well. Or you may have come up with something totally different, okay? But make sure it relates to our story, okay? All right, so let's get ready to put our thinking caps on because we're going to get ready to answer some questions, okay? Let's get our story back to the beginning. Okay, so the first activity we're going to do is a fill-in activity. And whenever you're doing a fill in the blank activity, you always want to remember that whatever word you put in the blank, it has to make sense. And here's our blank right here. Okay, so you want to make sure that whatever word you put here, it makes sense in the sentence. Okay, it may fit there, but does it make sense? That's the important thing to remember. So what you're going to do whenever we are working with questions, even if I don't tell you this, I always want you to make a choice, because you can always pause the screen and say, Mom or Dad or whoever's sitting with you, I need to make a choice in case if I forget to tell you, okay? All right, so let's read our first statement here. It says, people can blank different things. Down, spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our story to help us find the answer. And we see here that we see the Kenneth family, they start walking to the gift shop, right? And we see right here that people can do what? Like different things. Okay? So our key word to look for was people, because that's what our one of our that was one of our focus words in the question. So we're going to put like there. Okay. Number 2 says Gwen liked moving fast. Blank the water slides. Let's see what our choices are. Down, spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. We're looking for the part that talks about Gwen and what she liked doing. Here's Gwen, and what did she like doing? She liked the water slide. How does it move? Down. Okay. Okay, so now Ben liked the turns and loops on the spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. We know that if you look and see at my arrow, you see that we're going to the part of the story that talks about who? Ben, and what he liked. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So here we have Ben, okay, and what did he choose? He chose the what? The roller coaster. Okay? Did you make that decision? If you did, you were correct. All right, so Jen liked something here, and that's our blank, and a circle on the Ferris wheel. Let's see what our choices are. Down, spinning, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. Now don't forget, we have to go to the part of the store that talks about who, Jen, and what she liked. Okay? So let's do that. Now here we find Jen. And what did she like? She says here, she says, I will remember how the Ferris wheel does what? Spins. Okay? So Jen likes spinning in a circle on the Ferris wheel. Okay. All right. Number 5 says people and objects move at the down, amusement park, roller coaster, like. Make a choice. So once again, we're going to go back to our story, right? And we talk about it right here. And it says people and things move at the what? Amusement park. Because that was our, here's our choice right here. All right. I have enjoyed being with you today. I hope that you have fun learning about how people make choices and the importance of going to a gift shop. If you are able to go away and take some time to visit a new place, at some point we will when it's safer to do so. But the main thing I want you to remember today is whenever you are answering your questions, please do not forget to look for the keywords in the question, okay? And go to that section in your story, okay, to help you find the answer. All right. Don't forget all the suggestions I made about different activities you can do when we actually finish our lesson. Don't forget to do those. I don't want you to not remember those words. Okay. So don't forget to look up those words or circle them in the story or put them in alphabetical order or put them in a sentence. There's so many things you can do. I've enjoyed being with you today. I want you to stay happy, stay healthy. And I'll see you again in the next video lesson.